Okay guys, welcome back to Dota Fundamentals. My name's Ran. This is the first video in a series I'm going to do about laning, mid-hero lane. So I'm basically going over replays of Immortal top 200 if possible leaderboard, hero spammers, analysing how they lane against certain matchups middle. And hopefully that will help you guys out in your pubs if you can try and emulate what they do, or at least understand why they do what they do. So let's go through this journey together. So straight away, just start the game here, slow it down a bit. Straight away, we're doing Lina. So this is going to be a Lina series. I forget if I mentioned that or not. So first thing we're going to look at here, again, this is a laning video. So I'm focusing purely on the mid lane. We're not going to look at the team matchups or anything. This is Quap versus Lina. So that is a Lina favored matchup. I'd say 70-30, about 70-30 Lina favored. Quap's not happy about laning against Lina, basically. I don't know if she picked into it or not, but I doubt it. The reason being is that Lina is just incredibly oppressive as a laner, especially against squishy heroes like Quap and Storm. She's just going to basically be spamming her Lightstrike Array and hitting the hell out of them. And Quap can't really outdamage Lina during the lane. If she hits level 6 around the same time, she can probably go for a kill, but before then, I mean, what Quap wants to do is getting close, Shadow Strike, and harass. She can't really do that with Lina because you're just going to get Light Strike Array before you can get in range of a dagger. So generally what Quap's going to do is skill her screen level 1 and not even bother with dagger in lane against Lina. Anyway, onto Lina, because this video is about Lina, not Quap. So starting items, pretty standard here. We've got your Fairy Fire. Definitely need that burst health, is one of the best things you can have in an item. Especially in the laning stage, especially in the mid where so many tower dives and close calls happen. Always start with a Fairy Fire. Standard regen, 3 tangos, 3 iron branches. She might turn 2 of those into a wand later. More likely she's going to use them to plant trees and use the tangos on them to double the regen. Because Lina loves harassing, which means she's going to be drawing creep aggro and taking a lot of hits. Circlet, I mean, obviously you are going to go for a null tally. You're Lina, you love null tallies. They increase damage. First blood happening here maybe. What did they even increase again? Spell damage, spell amp, and mana regen. I mean, Lina loves both of those things, the stats. And they help in lane, of course, to get CS. The question is whether you get the circlet or the mantle bursts. It's really just personal preference. I guess I get the mantle if I'm worried about CSing, like contesting more often, just for that extra 1 damage. In this one, you don't really need that because you're going to be zoning the Quap anyway, most likely. Anyway, let's go. So zone the enemy team away before the rounding spawn. Great, so she's not blocking. So looks like the creeps are going to end up on Quap's hill. Now, just going to pause it there quickly. Generally, if you can get away with it, you want to block all the way from the tier 3. Just because what Lina really wants, level 1, is to have the creeps meet under her tower. So that might sound counterintuitive, because obviously most games you want it to meet on the hill here so you can control it. But what Lina really wants is to hit level 2 in lane. So level 1, you're annoying because you're going to cast Light Strike Array a few times. But I mean, what you really want is by level 2 to have both Fiery Soul and Light Strike Array. And that way your harass just increases so much. And that is why in the mid lane, you don't get Dragon Slave first. You'll see a lot of people tell you to get Dragon Slave. I think even like some of these Immortal Faith guides probably tell you to do that, if I recall correctly. Or some of these guides, I mean. Don't get Dragon Slave first. Yes, it's used to secure the range creep, but it means when you hit level 2, you're not going to be able to cast it as much. It costs more mana. Oh, it costs the same amount of mana, excuse me. You just can't cast it as much, and it means you're going to get less hits in. You know, if you get I think it's 1.6 second stun every 10 seconds ish. That's a lot of hits that stack up, especially with Fiery Soul. You'll get far more harass basically when you hit level 2 with Light Strike Array, and that's more important than the CS in the first few waves in this kind of matchup. Anyway, we'll see. So the Quap got a block off. Is it going to go under tower? No. So you'll probably see... Oh, yeah. Never mind. So straight away, she's gone in and she's just trying to harass the Quap. Look at that. She's drawing aggro. She doesn't care at all. Gets 1 CS there. So yeah, she's prioritizing harassing the Quap level 1, which is really what you should do. Again, that's the second stun. Literally on cooldown. There we go. Wave now meets under her tower. So the Quap, that's exactly what I was talking about just happened, but in Quap's favor. So Quap's now level 2 and Lina's level 1 because the wave met under her tower. The thing is, Quap doesn't have a power spike at level 2 like Lina does, so it's not as big a deal. Okay, Quap much better animation, and I believe damage at level 1. I honestly can't remember. What have we got here? 57. Okay, so Lina actually has more damage. 50. Oh, she's got 1 more damage because she's got an Iron Branch plus the stats. Okay. So yep, again she's obviously going for CS. But she's also really focusing on drawing aggro with harass so that her creeps don't take damage. Because if her creeps don't take damage, they're going to push under tower, which makes it way easier to do exactly this, to hit the Quap, to stun the Quap. If she has to last hit under tower, basically she's going to have to stop moving to CS. And when she does that, she's going to get stunned and cop 2 to 3 fiery soul hits. See, she's controlling the wave, standing on the hill so she doesn't miss uphill. Here we go. She's probably going to go for a stun here. I would. Yep, there we go. Waited for the creep to get low and for her to go for it. And you can see this player is dancing in and out of the creep, the tower range, which I don't know if I can bring that up in a replay. No, I can't. She's dancing in and out of the creep range so as not to take tower hits. So she's coming in, clicking the Quap, immediately clicking out, walking out of tower range and coming back in. Because obviously the only time you're not trading well when you're doing this is when the tower's hitting you. So even now, still being cheeky. She's going... Oh, I thought she was going to do it once more then. Nope. Okay. Again, she's just clopping creep aggro. She does not care. And she's burning through those tangos, but she doesn't... It doesn't matter because she's completely dominating. So... Okay. The Quap's actually doing quite well here. So the Slaying can still go either way, so she's not completely dominating. But you can see how annoying it is. So another thing is, in this meta, and one of the reasons Lina's such a good laner, is these new water runes that spawn on the 2 and 4 minute marks. It basically means you're not guaranteed to get a rune, but you pretty much are because there's 2, you know what I mean? Unless Thapos 4 comes and steals the other one. Which means you have a lot more regen middle, which means you have a lot more sustainability and spamminess. You can just spam your spells more because you have more mana. In the last patch, Lina wasn't as great because of this. Not just because of this, but this is a huge buff to Lina's laning, basically. And that's my point, was that's why she's timed to get her bottle at by the 2 minute mark, which is ideal. So you can use those charges, immediately get filled up, come back to lane. By contrast, Quap should have hers too. Yep. Okay, she's bought a stick. I would have gone for raindrops personally, but I guess that's why this player is Immortal and I am not. So again, that's a trade right there. Now, if they had just cast the spells, Lina would have lost out on that trade because Dagger, I'm surprised she even skilled it, to be honest. She's actually, okay, she's gone 2 points in Shadow Strike. So that's a lot of damage. That's, what are we looking? I'm not going to do the math there, but that's a shitload of damage. Whereas Lina's just stunned, but then she's also got in 4 or 5 Fiery Soul buffed hits and a Dragon Slave. So that's just not a good trade for Quap. This is what I mean. This is why this is a Lina favored matchup. You can fuck up. Quap can definitely win. It's a very volatile matchup. But if the lane is played sort of how it should go, or sort of passively, the lane is going to win. There we go. Just that she wasn't going to hit that last creep in time, so she just used the level 2 nuke. Huge amount of damage. That was a great time to hit level 4. I
structures are fortified.
But yeah, you can see she's just zoning the hell out of the quad right
Killing
now.
spree.
Quad can do nothing. She
Hello,
comes in
this
to
is Gabe Newell.
use
Thanks for playing Dota 2.
a scream on the
Double
creep wave
kill.
to push it out. She gets stunned, hit, and nuked. And this is why Lina just destroys quad. So yeah, if your mate is playing Quap against Lina middle, get your support to gank, because that's what should be happening here. I'm not sure why the support's not ganking. Anyway, this is a laning video, we won't go into that. So, minute 3, bounty rune's still there, which is lucky. She's not going to use mana on... Oh, she's going to stack it but not kill it. Yep, rune is spawning. So again, 2 minutes ago she got that bounty, water rune, used all her mana middle, ran, got a bounty, got another rune. She's going to be back to full mana basically. Really good patch for Lina. I'm actually really surprised how well this Quap's doing. But she's definitely not going to hit level 6 before Lina, I don't think. So Quap's going to farm the small camp because it's just, look where that creep wave is. It's not going to be worth it to come in close enough. Look at that. She comes in, tries to get a CS, she misses uphill and cops a nuke. If she got any closer, it would have been a stun, 5 hits and a nuke. And there we go, she's gone for the hit, and exactly what I'm talking about. So she's actually manning up here, trying to go for the dagger, which, sure, why not? And now, I didn't even notice, but she has the raindrops delivered as well, so obviously great item versus Queen of Pain. Lina loves mana regen in general, because once the laning stage finishes, if she still has these raindrops, she's going to be able to farm the jungle more efficiently. Cool. So she's going for 1 null talisman and a magic wand.
Denied.
Okay, Quap's standing to the side. That's what you need to do against Lina. Just stand to one side of the wave so that she can't nuke the whole wave and you at the same time if possible. But it's easier said than done, especially against a good Lina. And she's seen this coming in, so she could have tried to be a bit of a nerd and set up the stun on that, but what would that do? Nothing. So she's just backed out. The smart move. With stack camp, she's going to stack it one more time. And then she'll probably kill it off if she's lucky enough to get this rune. And it's an arcane rune too. Like she's cheering. That's great. Coming in, not worth nuking that. Both heroes are level 6 now. Definitely much more dangerous for the Quap. It's just easier to execute. Plus she's got an arcane rune activated, so she's just doesn't care. She's gonna come back. Okay, gonna go clear out that creep camp. So this lane's basically, I mean, you've seen how this has gone now. So as you saw, that fiery soul stack was about to run out. She used the nuke at the last second. Another bounty rune. So this is basically how the lane is gonna go. Another example of how this exact same lane is going to be against Storm Spirit. The lane's even more heavily in Lina's favor. It's more like 80-20 with Lina versus Storm Spirit because Storm Spirit has to come closer to the creep wave to...
Killing spree. Double kill.
To push out the wave. They need to go in melee range, drop a remnant, and drop everything. And if a Storm Spirit is in melee range, you know what's happening. They're getting stunned,
Radiant's
hit,
bottom tower
nuked
is
every
under
single time.
attack.
So that lane basically plays the same way. Plus Storm's animation isn't as good as Quap's. But Quap's playing really well. Okay, oh, I didn't even see the keen optic. So, level 1 items.
Radiant's bottom tower is under
Lina,
attack.
I mean, keen optic's great. Cast range, mana regen, 2 of Lina's favorite things. I'd also say the Fairy's Trinket is obviously amazing. And the, what's it called? The handle, the broom handle. So, a lot of people don't think about this one because it says 50 attack range melee only. So a lot of people think, oh, it's a melee item, right? But look at what it gives you, 14 damage. That's phase boots gives ranged heroes 12 damage. That's more damage than phase boots. Considering you're gonna have level 2, level 3 fiery souls when you get that item, I mean that's a lot of damage. That really stacks up. So I actually really like broom handle. on Lina for their tier 1 neutrals. I would say Fairy's Trinket, Broom Handle, Faded Brooch, and Keen Optic.
Dire's top
In that
tower
order
is under
are the
attack.
best. Oh, and Ironwood Tree is obviously amazing for stats. And an Arcane Rune. And Possess Mask. Look, they're all pretty good. But yeah, definitely I'd say Broom Handle, super underrated on Lina.
Radiant's bottom tower
Fairy's
is under
Trinket is
attack.
amazing too. So she's queued up Boots of Travel first item. You want to do this every single game if you can. It's just amazing on Lina. You'd have two options basically for flash farming the jungle when you're ahead. You spam mana potions and you just keep like 4 mana pots in your inventory at all times and basically keep them on constantly. Or you just buy bots, and the move speed you get for the bots and the reduced cooldown on your TP just basically means once you run out of mana, you just go back to base, kill this camp or this camp on the way home, go back, you know, you're flying home because you're so fast with 3 stacks of Fiery Souls and bots. And Yules often. This game basically seems like the laning stage is over, but yeah, I'll just finish my point. Yeah, so then you are in base, you spam spells in the fountain for free because that keeps your Fiery Soul stacks up, and you TP back out. Rinse and repeat, push out a lane, or join a team fight, join a gank, move back through the jungle. By the time you're out of mana, you just head home really quickly. I know it sounds counterintuitive, heading home. A lot of higher MMR players will tell you that if you go home on a core hero ever, that you're a noob. But the reality of Dota is never say never.
Dire's top tower
It's
is under
efficient
attack.
as hell to go home as Lina and TP back to lane. Anyway, back to the lane. So this is what you want to do once you've got the levels to sustain. Oh, look, she's doing it right now. This is what I'm talking about. So a few months ago, I would have shipped out mana pots instead of doing this, and I probably would have got phase boots. But I've come to realize the value of the bots rush, especially when you're ahead or even.
Radiant structures are fortified. Radiant's bottom
So yeah,
tower
laning
is
stage
under
is over at
attack.
this point. Everyone's moving
Dire's
around.
top tower is under
I'm
attack.
probably going to end the video here. Yep,
Dire's top tower has fallen.
pretty much a very dominant laning performance from Wonderful Life. Played it perfectly. The quad did surprisingly well, honestly. If that was me, I would have died several times, I'm pretty sure. But yeah, and then one thing I didn't mention here is that anytime you can hit the tower early, I mean, Fiery Souls really adds up. It's a lot of damage early, even like level 4, level 5. If the heroes left the lane, I would say rather than going back and forth from the jungle camps and pushing out the wave like you do on a lot of heroes like Storm, with Lina, I prefer to stay in lane and just punish that tower because she really pushes really quickly. If you can take that middle tower down to half health early, it's going to be a huge help to your team because that, everyone says it, but it's the most important tower in the game. Anyway, we're going to finish up here, I think. Thanks for watching, guys. Probably add in a few more videos.
Radiant's middle tower
We'll see you soon.